Big U, is that you?
Hello?
Hello, Big U?
Yeah.
What's good, baby? How you?
I'm good. What's going on with you, fam?
Nothing, baby. Hold on for a second, man. Let me set you up real quick, all right?
All right.
For all my listeners out there, man, we got the opportunity to sit down with a music mogul who's definitely a force in his community. You know what I'm saying? He's an innovator, he's a creator, and he's definitely a motivator, and he goes by the name of Big U. And we're going to sit down with this cat for a little while, man. He's going to let us know, man, how he getting down, how he doing the things on his side of town. So, Big U, baby, how the industry treating you?
Oh, man, it's work. You know what I mean? You can put it like this, man. You got to be visible. And you got to be willing to work hard. And believe me, you're going to be sleepless. Definitely going to be sleep deprived.
Yeah, no question about that. Hey, man, so first and foremost, man, tell the people, man, exactly where you're originally from and how long you've been doing the things you've been doing.
Yeah, you said where I'm originally from?
Yeah, where you originally from?
No, I'm from L.A., man. I mean, I was born in L.A., but I lived in Chicago for probably about 7 years on and off between my mother and my father. Okay. So I got Chicago roots, and then but definitely born and raised in L.A.
Yeah.
Both cities.
Yeah. So how long, man, you been doing your music thing? I mean, how long, you know what I'm saying, have you had the production company and all else that you do, you know what I mean? Because we're going to get into a whole bunch of that, because you be doing a whole lot of shit over there, son. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I came home and I paroled in 2004.
Okay.
And the first thing I got into, I was already gonna mess with music. I started messing with music before I left.
Right.
In 1991. So, of course, I was gone for 13.
Yeah.
And you know, when I paroled, I just knew I wanted to focus on really helping the community, and then helping. I mean, it's really helping young people get in where they fit in.
Right.
And I started developing MAFIA, which is my nonprofit, a year before I came home. I actually had a study on how to start corporations and form different kind of nonprofits and all that. So I formed my own corporation. I didn't hire an attorney to do it. I filed the paperwork. I dealt with the federal government myself, and then I started that. Shortly after that, I got with Corrupt. When I first came home, I was messing with Suge over there at Death Row for a minute.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of like, you know, messed around with Snoop. I'm probably the only person in the country at that time can have a meeting with Suge and Snoop at the same damn time.
That's what it is, baby. You know what I'm saying? So you, baby, here, tell me this, man. Here's one of the stories that I need to know, and for you to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know you went on a little vacation and all that. You know what I'm saying? They sat a cat down for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, man, how was you able to stay focused? You know what I'm saying? On your dreams and your hopes and dreams, or the things that you was gonna do, not only for yourself but for your community, man. Once they let you go.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. It didn't even start when it wasn't really hard for me. It was my first time really going through a full trial. Right. Unfortunately, because growing up how I grew up, I'd experienced a lot of negativity in the streets.
Right.
But when I went through trial, I found out how I sat in trial, and people talked about me in the courtroom. And I couldn't understand a word that they were saying, basically. They used the English language to sentence me to 56 years in prison, right? Yeah. And they used the language that I was familiar with, but couldn't interpret the words that they used. Right. And I had swore to myself that I would never be the only functionally illiterate in a room ever again. So when I did the time, I fought back to get 20 years first. Then I fought back to get a couple more years. I gave an attorney 44 racks, man. Okay. And I ended out of 44,000, I ended up getting 56 years. Then I got that knocked down over about a 12-year period to 23 years, and ended up doing 13. But my motivation was the fact that these people was able to sit in front of me and talk English language. They have a whole nother dictionary that they use when they go to the law. It's called the Black's Law Dictionary. I wasn't there and mastered that. I had to master the language and be able to understand what it was that they was using to talk about me. And I just swore it would never happen again. And that was my motivation. When the homies was on the yard playing and and smoking up and doing what they was doing, I was studying. I took as many college courses as I could possibly do. I didn't really have an idea how I was going to use the information, but I just knew I was never going to be caught without having information.
No question. And from my little history, from doing a little research on you, man, I seen you, man. You knocked down some real significant type of motherfucking degrees, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, your first thing was your business administration. You know what I'm saying? And then your theology, your sociology, and your psychology. You know what I'm saying? Boy, listen, man, they had to make you ready for the street when they let you go. You heard?
Yeah, for sure. I studied a lot, man. I mean, I got a degree in philosophy. I also studied. I got a degree in business management, and I also studied theology.
Right.
Well, I majored in theology while I was going. Also, I mean, I studied as many disciplines as I can possibly study. I didn't want to return back to society and not be a help to my own kids. You know what I mean? And not be. I definitely didn't want to come back and be the same ignorant person I was when I left.
Yeah, no doubt. And looks to us, baby, that you're doing real well at it. You know what I'm saying? From some of the things that we know that you do, you know what I'm saying? You definitely are, like I said before, and I'll say it again, you definitely are a force in your community. You know what I'm saying? So tell us, man, when you first started your music label, you know what I'm saying, and your production label, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was the hardest part of actually getting that up off the ground, man? You know what I'm saying? Having those come with you and believe in the things that you was trying to do.
You know what? Be honest with you, I've had deals. I've had major deals. I've seen artists come. I've seen artists go. But when you're not the artist, man, it's really not really ever off the ground until you got like five multi-million-dollar deals. I've had deals with artists. I think I had a conversation with Jimmy Iovine. He said it best, and I will say this to young people who are intending to go into the business side of music: is you have to want it more than the artist do.
Yeah.
I actually make more money, and I actually made more money dealing with Ving Rhames than I do in I make money in music, but I make more money dealing with Ving Rhames than I'm able to deal with. I might do a movie with Ving Rhames and make $100,000 to $175,000 just on the production side before the movie is released.
Right.
But I produced like 6 films so far. A lot of people don't know that I'm a producer on 2 turntables and a microphone with a Jam Master Jay.
Yeah, okay, let us know.
I did that. I did Love Chronicles 2. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of movies but I would say to this though, it's dedication.
No
it's
doubt.
The dedication part, because managing an artist is easy after somebody puts in the work to get the artist known.
Right.
After the artist is known, he has a reputation, you really just answer the phone.
Right.
And you really just managing his time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as a production company, the production company is no sleep. It's buying the beats. It's making deals with different producers. It's making deals with different places to record. Then you got to go have a relationship with radio. You got to have a relationship with magazines. You got to have a relationship with all these different relationships. They take time to establish.
Right.
And if you don't have these relationships, it's going to be definitely hard. You can even have the money. You got people that spend $5 million on a project and it don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
But you got somebody like 2 Chainz. I've been knowing when he was Titter Boy. I just got off the phone with him, and I mean, he was grinding. He had a platinum selling single 2 times with Circle.
Yeah. So,
and I mean, he just kept staying at it.
So give us a little insight, man, on the transition from music into the film production. I mean, we know you still do your music and all that, but how did you fall into the production part of the film industry? You know what I'm saying? And give us a little insight, because there might be some cats out there that's trying to do that also. You know what I'm saying? So,
well,
go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you again how I got into filming. It goes back to reading and studying again. I was locked up in Calipat, and I was locked up in the Ironwood with Harry-O in 2007. And Harry-O gave me about 7 books, man, just on the film industry, from the birth of the film industry, how it went to silent film, to that, the first adding music and sound to it, and just the revolution and natural maturation of film industry to what we see now.
Right.
And basically, it was, I met Ving, but before that, I had already written a couple of scripts. I read scripts that never got produced.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
And I think I got more success out of the scripts that I've never had one of my scripts produced.
Okay.
But I produced several scripts. I got three I'm in production on right now. But that's the hardest grind.
Yeah.
But it's the most rewarding grind.
No doubt. No doubt. You know what I mean?
And since each one complements the other one.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So okay, so now you came home, you've been doing your thing, you're doing your music, we all know that. You know what I'm saying? But here's another thing that I respect, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, a lot of other cats may respect it, about your gang intervention though. You know what I'm saying? On that time, so I'm quite sure where there's some things going on and you gotta step in, you know what I'm saying? And the big homie gotta put his word in. You heard? So
oh yeah, well I can tell you this, we instrumental over the last 3 years that I've been doing the gang intervention, we're instrumental saving over, I think they say over 400 lives over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Just in the area that we deal with, and that being the 60s, they trade the Hoovers in the most volatile area, we was able to drop the murder rate down 89%.
A lot of lives
over the last 2 years that I held the gang intervention contract that we was doing over here.
Okay.
And what's unique about us is the way they do it in LA is you can get caught up in a twist, right? But they asked us to get involved with it, and it wasn't hard for us to make a choice. But we made the choice to do it a certain way. Like, we wasn't writing no reports. We ain't identifying nobody as no gang members. But we can go address the issue.
Right.
If I can address the issue, and most of the time it requires people make assumptions on who may have done certain things. And if you could just kill that assumption and say, look, man, let's find out who did it.
Right.
Before you just go ride on these dudes, you just assume that these are the dudes that did it. And I mean, then the fact that, like I said, when I came home, I chose to deal with certain individuals. I didn't want to come straight home and go straight dealing with the Crips and dealing just, making a president and just dealing with Snoop and not dealing with Suge.
Right. And
then that would have made it seem like I would have made the Crips in LA stronger.
Right. Put you on one
instead
side.
of being a unified front with everybody, and me being able to say, okay, it's all right for you. You got cousins as Bloods, you got cousins as Crips. I mean, it's your family, and we move together, and we can move together. And that's what you see right now today. When I had Game do the song with Nipsey, it was the first time you really had like real official street dudes really like doing something and working together.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, man.
Because most of the people who came who did music before this era right now, unfortunately, wasn't real street thugs. I mean, shouts out to my boy Eazy-E and Ice Cube and the NWA, but they weren't really real street dudes. Like these dudes is doing music now. Like dudes are rapping now. Really, some of them really come from a street path.
Right, pretty soldiers of the game, for real. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah.
You know, a lot of cats don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, and along with that, man, that also brought some other community activism things that you do about your food drives. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is a really beautiful thing, man. And just give us a little insight, man, on how that came about, man, and how you actually go out and get that done.
To be honest with you, I do all that. Almost all of it come out of our pocket.
Okay.
It cost me like $8,500 a year to buy the trucks, and we get the food from Feed the Children.
Right.
Some of the people that I have mentioned have helped my organization in a lot of different ways, and I just added their names onto that the YouTube survey that we did. But it was just a Christmas and Thanksgiving is so stressful for people who don't have money, right?
Right.
So I just took it in my heart to try to give back. And it's just a constant effort of mine to just do the right thing.
Yeah.
To be positive, make the positive move.
That's a big thing, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. A lot of cats get the money and run. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even look back. They forget about where they from, who they fuck with, and all that. You know what I'm saying? I got one problem with our young athletes and our entertainers, right? They'll go in the club, spend $5,000 in one night at a club, at the bar, whatever have you. But you can feed a family with just making a donation of half of that money in one day. Right.
Let me just charge it.
Right.
Yeah,
no question.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? When they could have better used that money doing something else positive, you know?
I mean, and I'm not saying don't go have a good time, but I'm saying that if...
All right, for all my listeners out there, stay locked in, baby. Looks like we lost you real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure you're going to call back here in a second or two. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep this rolling. We're going to keep this moving. You know what I'm saying? And until he calls back, baby, let's blast some music for you. Hey,